If this Labour government won't defend our country, then I will defend my country from the invading hordes. I don't know what my favorite thing about this picture is. I don't know if it's the helmet that doesn't quite fit his head, the complete lack of any actual armor with his costume, the tiny little sword, this tiny little child-sized toy sword, or if it's the fact that he's talking about defending his country from invading hordes while wearing a crusader outfit, the outfit of the people that very famously invaded a lot of other countries. Don't know which part of those is my favorite. This video brought to you by my YouTube members and patrons. Thank you guys. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. Today we are going to be returning once again to r/iamverybadass, a subreddit dedicated to people that think they're really badass and they're gonna save the world and they're gonna win all their fights, and they just kind of look like morons to everyone else. Very quickly before we begin, I just wanted to mention that YouTube members and patrons, you guys get an extra video every single week for as low as £1 a month. That equates to about 25p per video, so if that is something that interests you, please do consider joining, as it really helps support the channel. Other than that, let's get into the subreddit, shall we? The challenge coins being handed out by FBI Director Cash. Seems someone has put a lot of thought into this. This is as hilarious as it is embarrassing to look at. But I think it really needs to be stated, right, that for some reason, there's this obsession with law enforcement at the moment of law enforcement using Punisher memorability and symbols, despite the fact that the Punisher, right, everything the Punisher stands for, his whole thing is that he is a vigilante who goes out and kills people rather than allowing the law to do their job. So I feel like it's genuinely somewhat problematic, the amount that law enforcement seems to be obsessed over the idea of the Punisher, despite the fact that his whole thing is no due process. He is the judge, jury, and Punisher. That's not what you want for a healthy law enforcement. So this is a bunch of ICE officers lining up to intimidate people going through immigration. Now, here I was thinking that the supposed point of ICE is to stop illegal immigrants from entering the country and to remove illegal immigrants from the country. So why exactly is it that these officers are currently stood in the place you're supposed to go to legally immigrate to the country? Why is it that they are there intimidating the people going through the actual legal process of being a legal immigrant in the United States? It's almost like those resources, right, we're never actually about, making sure that illegal immigrants are gone and people aren't illegally immigrating to the country. It's almost like they're spending their resources just to intimidate people that aren't white because they don't want people who aren't white in the country. And it's got nothing to do with the law or actually going through the proper processes. No. They want to stop people doing that as well. Also, I just got to point out that they're all wearing masks. They're all trying to be intimidating and intimidate people trying to immigrate legally to the country by standing there wearing masks, none of them showing their actual faces, because ICE are all entirely made up of little bitch baby cowards who are too terrified to show who they really are while they're kidnapping people and removing them from their families. Making sure leftards don't interfere with the Charlie Kirk vigilant Belton. Brought a few of my fellow veterans with me. No one cares. No one would have interfered with your little vigil, because no one cares. A podcaster was shot. That's it. The only person that might care is the person that shot him, but that's done now. He was shot. So what reason would the person that shot Charlie Kirk have to shoot up a vigil? There is none. There's no reason. It wouldn't happen. Carry around your guns if it makes you feel safer, if it makes you feel better about yourself. It doesn't make you look tough, though. It makes you look afraid. This has to be a joke. I am 70 years old. Put me in a room with the three of them. I'll guarantee it won't be them walking out. So first thing I've got to point is that he's acting like these are all, these are the police of the country. But I'm almost certain that the kid on the left and the kid on the right are probably school students that are on some kind of school trip, maybe a police for the day experience, something along those lines. It might even be a career thing where they said that they wanted wanted to be police officers when they grow up, and the school, through some kind of career like fair thing, has allowed them to go and experience what it's like to be police for a day, right? Just judging by the lack of equipment that they have, because the woman in the middle has a fair amount more stuff on her belt actually attached to her vest, like radios, all of that stuff. The two kids, significantly less stuff attached, right? So I'm guessing that they are not police officers. I'm guessing they are kids, apart from the woman in the middle, obviously. But also, I have a TV show proposition. I want a TV show where anytime someone makes a claim like this, you know, like a 70-year-old man makes a claim about how if you put him in a room with these three people, they won't be the ones walking out. I have a proposition that we get hold of all of the people and we put them in a cage match and we go, here you go. And we'll see whether this 70-year-old man is actually walking away from this. I got in a fight over Charlie Kirk. They swung on me first. To be fair, self-defense. I hit them once for Charlie, once for hating Trump, and one more for getting blood on my Rolex. He's out cold as I'm tweeting this. Cops should be here any minute. Wish me luck. Ah, yeah, you know that thing everybody does when they've just gotten into a fight and they're now waiting for the police to arrive, is to hop on Twitter and tweet about it. Totally a believable, real thing that happened. The most real thing that's ever happened, in fact. Everybody believes that this is real and definitely really happened. Also, punching someone for disliking your choice of president doesn't make you look cool. It makes you look like a simp for the government. Trump doesn't care about you. Simping for him is just that, simping. I have ancestors who fought for the German Reich and the Confederate States because my opa immigrated in 1948 and married a relative of Stonewall Jackson. I'm the living nightmare of leftists. You're not, my guy. You're not the living nightmare of anyone. You're proud of this heritage? They lost. Both of them. Congratulations. Your heritage is a bunch of losers. Wow, what a great heritage to be proud of. People that can't win. Wow, isn't that impressive? Oh no, a nightmare for leftists, a guy whose history results in continuous losses. Oh no, whatever will we do? POV, you're surrounded by libs. He's wearing a 0% liberal shirt. But the thing that I find really amusing about this, I'm actually gonna rewatch it again because look how fucking terrified he looks. He's like trying to show off this shirt, which by the way, no one is paying any attention to. Everyone is reacting to this shirt in exactly the way that you would, which is to ignore it because it's just some doofus in a coffee shop that's trying to start a fight. But despite the fact that not a single person has paid him any kind of attention, he still looks terrified. He's looking around like someone's about to swing at him, but no one is paying him any attention. That doesn't make you look badass, my guy. It makes you look dumb. Liberalism is treated with a 5.56mm, applied 2 to the chest and 1 to the head. Guys, I don't think this guy's a real doctor. I don't think this person ever went to medical school. I just don't believe that's a thing, you know? I don't think they understand how medical treatments work. But also, once again, saying that the only ideology that should be allowed is yours and that ideologies that don't apply to your views should be met with violence and death doesn't make you look cool or badass. It makes you look like a fascist. But my favorite part of all of this is, look at the size of the truck, right? The size of the truck in this picture. It's the tiniest little text. The tiniest. You have to go right up to this truck to read what that bumper sticker says, because they don't actually seem, you know, all that courageous. They don't seem to hold that view all that strongly that they would actually back it up with violence. So they've got to put it on there just small enough that it's not gonna start a fight. Right above the size matters sticker. So badass, dude. Waiting for the barista at Starbucks to press me when I give her my name. Look at the way this guy's walking. That's not a badass walk, dude. It's the smug little, like... the smug little sachet he's doing. But like, let's be honest, even if he actually did say that his name was Charlie Kirk and that is in fact the name that she actually wrote on that mug, she doesn't care. Whoever the barista is, she does not care. She's not paid enough to care. She's not gonna start a fight with you over it. At best, you probably got a sigh and an eye roll, and that's it. You're not badass for doing this. You're not badass for trying to intimidate a barista at Starbucks. You're just, you got exactly the reaction you deserve. Just a... because that's all it is. That's all the reaction deserves. Right, now this next one, I'm gonna have to remove the sound, but this, you guys need to brace yourselves because this is a true legend, okay? This is gonna be a bit scary. This is gonna be concerning, but just know that, you know, next time there's a war, next time, you know, if there's another war on terror or, you know, another world war, the US will be sending their best, and by God, is this guy their best? Sorry, you can't keep a straight face. Let's just watch. Damn, dude. Oh my God, that's Jason Bourne. Now, I've had to remove the music. Did he just brick it at the end? I've had to remove the music because it's copyright, so you can't hear the gun, but I'm 99% sure it's just like a CO2 airsoft gun and not like an actual gun, which is kind of reassuring that he's at least smart enough to practice this with like an airsoft gun, not a real gun. But he is doing this like 10 feet from a road, as you just saw, which is incredibly irresponsible. That's so irresponsible to be doing. Like, come on, that's not... There wasn't anywhere better that you could have done this. There wasn't directly next to a road while you're shooting a gun. It does look fun though. Don't get me wrong. It looks fun. Like, it looks like it's a fun time. Like abseiling while shooting an airsoft gun. It's cool. It's fun. That'd be like a really cool move to pull in an airsoft game that no one would expect. I actually have another video from him as well. Look at this guy's training. Look how badass he is. Incredible. Now we do see from that video, you know, a little sneak peek at the fact that I'm almost certain it is an airsoft gun, which is fine. Again, I would rather he be doing this with an airsoft gun than a real gun, but you can see like the CO2 gas coming out, as well as like the slide isn't moving when he shoots. So I'm pretty sure it's CO2, and this based on the sound as well. It's not a very loud gun, but again, I'm actually fine with that. I would rather he be doing this with a CO2 gun than with an actual one, because that would be irresponsible and dumb. But again, it looks fun. It's funny. If this guy's having a good time, then like, sure, dude, have a good time, have fun. It seems like it's fun. Just posting it to TikTok as like, look how badass I am, is like, that's where it becomes a little bit silly. But it's still not as bad as in the last video, that the guy with the knife in his kitchen that hugs the fridge. Me and the boys after we get our Antifa hunting licenses. Again, that's not impressive or cool or edgy or badass. You know what we call someone that wants to shoot and kill people for having different political opinions? Fascists. If you're going out and hunting anti-fascists, what do you think that makes you? What do you think it makes you if you're just itching at the opportunity to go out and murder anti-fascists? What could it possibly be? What could it possibly be that would make this kind of person? I wonder. Fathers, husbands, veterans, gentlemen, it's time to saddle up your boots. We've got wives and children to protect. I'm sorry, it's just, there's so many layers to this. I'm gonna have to remove the music, probably. It's Doom. It's Doom music. But there's layers to this one. First of all, saddle up your boots. That's not a saying. That's not a phrase. This is some city boy who's LARPing as a country boy and has made up a phrase that he thinks people from the country say, right? Because he thinks that makes him seem more badass. But saddle up your boots is not a phrase anybody says. But I'm gonna replay it because there's multiple things, right? First of all, the slow walk in, how tiny his mouth looks, and then And then the slow point to the text that he put on screen. Just the rehearsed walk in, tiny mouth pout, slow point at the caption that I put on my video. All the while, Doom music is playing. Is anybody meant to be impressed, scared, or enamored with this? Oh, my favorite thing about making videos like this, right, is I spend the whole time laughing at people that think they're really badass and cool. And I know I'm gonna get comments from people that think they're badass and cool that are like, yo, these people could take you in a fight. I could take you in a fight. I'm like, you know what? Probably. I don't fight. I'm not a fighter. That doesn't mean that these people are in any way intimidating or don't look stupid. You know, I fully believe that an American with a gun could probably kill me. That's why I don't live in America. Like, I'm not scared of these people. I'm simply not. These people will never hurt me. And if you're spending your time on YouTube commenting on videos saying that you could take me in a fight, chances are you're not gonna hurt me either, and I'm not scared of you either. But that is where I'm going to end the video, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed. God, this subreddit is hilarious. If you would like to support me in making more content like this, then I have a Patreon in the description down below, or equally you can click on that join button on the channel to support me. It helps a lot more than you might realize, but by no means should you feel like you have to. I'm going to keep making content regardless. But a huge, massive special thank you to all of the wonderful YouTube members and patrons that do support me. It means a huge amount to me that you guys would support the channel. It genuinely means so much more than you might realize. Other than that though, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace out.